Namaskar. This is the last session of the Nirvana Shataka, and after this I'll sing the Nirvana Shataka. First talk, then sing. So this will be the last part of the series. This is the third, I think. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamaduchyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Now, the fifth sloka, Name Mrityu Shankha, Name Jati Veda, Pita naiva me naiva mata na janmaha, na bandhur na mitram gurur naiva shishya, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. So, first line, Name Mrityu Shankha. Now, if I have discovered, as Shankara says, that I am of the nature of bliss and consciousness, I am Shivam, then where is the fear of death? So, the ancient Vedic sloka, Mrityor Mamritam Gamaya, it doesn't mean that you are asking for the physical body to live without death. I have explained this before also in the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Some people chant Mahamrityunjaya when somebody is going to die or somebody is sick, they don't know. Actually, what Mahamrityunjaya mantra says is, free me from death, which means take me back to my immortal self. It's nothing to do with the body. Urva Rukami Vabandhana Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. That means like the pumpkin that when it grows ripe, disattaches itself from the stem and becomes separate. In the same way, from Mrityu may I be knocked out into Amrityu, deathlessness. That is the real meaning of Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Of course, in general, people are going to have an accident. Yeah. Okay, fine, fate helps. The real meaning of Mahamrityunjaya is to win over Mrityu, which means that can be done only when you understand and experience that you are the eternal self and not the body or the mind or any of these things. This is the whole of the Nirvana Shataka. That state of being free of the fear of death is Nirvana. So, Shankara sings the Nirvana Shataka because he is freed himself and has reached Nirvana. Like the crow peasant singing the Nirvana Shataka. So, I have no fear of death, therefore he has no fear of death. Name Mrityu Shankha. Normally we lead all our lives with this fear of death. Ultimate is the fear of death. What will happen to me? It also means that every minute and every second there is a death taking place. Only when you figure out that you are the eternal self are you free from the feeling of that death. Millions of cells die every day in the body. Every moment dies the next moment. Just we are sitting here, 1 minute, next minute, that moment is gone. We would like to think that it continues, but it's gone. So, but once you have understood that you are of the essence of pure consciousness and nothing to do with the human structure whatsoever, then in that understanding, the fear of death disappears. So Shankara says, Name Mrityu Shankha, Name Jati Veda. I also have no differences of caste. I don't belong to any caste. There are only two varieties of people. Those who desire to be free and those who don't desire to be free. There are no other divisions. All other divisions are fake. In Shankara's life itself, there is a story of Shankara in Banaras. After having all the reached the highest level of Upanishadic thought and so on, he comes down the steps. No, he has a bath and goes up the steps, and suddenly he sees a Kirata, means a forest dwelling tribe kind of person with a lot of dogs coming down. He comes near him. Shankara jumps back. After all that, it's not easy to take out, you know. So, the person, according to the story, suddenly turns into Shiva himself, coming from the burning ghats with the dogs in the form of Kapalishwarar. So he says, what caste divisions are you looking at? If everything is Shivam and everything is Brahman, here I am. Why did you jump? So Shankara says, for me, who has touched the Nirvana, this might have happened before I don't know, whatever. So, now, even if you still, there will be, it's not so easy to root it. It will be there somewhere stuck. Look at the matrimonials in newspapers. This caste, this division is, we are looking for a girl or a boy. And in India, usually they also write wheatish complexion. You don't know what it means. So, according to Shankara, according to Vedanta, according to the Upanishads, when you touch that reality, then you have no jati, no jati bheda, there is no caste, there is no, you can even say there is no religion and no fear of death. Pita naiva me naiva mata na janma. Look, if I was born from a mother's womb, then I can say I belong to this particular community or caste because I was born from a person of that community or caste. Suppose I realize that I was never born. If I was never born, then there is no death. And if I was never born, I have no father and no mother. Where is the father and which father and mother? On 6th of November, I'll get lot of messages. Happy birthday. I wonder which birthday. How many times are you coming and going? How many mothers' womb are you sitting and spoiling and not spoiling, creating problems for her when she gives birth? So, when you understand this, that you, every birth you come in a different way, in a different place. You cannot say, this is my father, this is my mother. You know the famous story of the couple who had only one son. It's in the Bhagavatam. And he died. They had no other person to subsist or think of or be attached to. They saw Agastya Muni coming from towards the south somewhere. So they caught him. They fell at his feet and said, please, you are a great yogi. Can you bring back our son? Agastya said, this is not done, you know. Once gone, there's no coming back. Said, just once for 5 minutes. We just want to see him. Then he can go. So Agastya Muni said, I'll try. So he brought back the son. When the son came, Agastya said to the son, bow down and touch the feet of your father and mother. And the man, they turned to Agastya and asked, which serial number, father, mother, to touch? Which one is this? So, Someone who has gone beyond such distinctions. There is no father, there is no mother, or you can say all are fathers and all are mothers. That's a better way to put it. And when you say I was never born, that means you don't have even the concept of death at that point because you're free of mrityu. Amrita. In fact, the Vedic call is Amrita Putrasya. Oh, children of immortality. Amrita Putra. So, Name mrityu shankha, name jati veda, pita naiva me naiva mata na janma, na bandhur na mitram, gurur naiva shishya. I don't have a relative. I don't have a friend. It's not in desperation, it's of joy. The song is of joy. Not somebody is crying, I don't have a friend, I don't have. He's saying there is nothing like that for me. I don't have a relative. I am not anybody's relative. Nor a friend. Also, I don't have in the ultimate sense of the term even a teacher. What can a teacher do to someone who is ultimately free? Yeah, you can give some respect in the worldly sense of the term, but truly you're free, you realize that what is in the teacher in essence and what is in me are the same. So where is the teacher now? That is the meaning. It doesn't mean that you should slap the teacher. You can if you like, that's not a problem, but that's not what it means. So I have no relatives, which means what? All are my relatives. I have no friend, which means all are my friends. Nor a teacher, neither am I have a teacher, nor I am a student. What is there to understand and study when you have understood that which is the essence of all life? It also means if you are neither a teacher nor a student, you can at sometimes be a student and sometimes be a teacher. All good teachers are those who have been good students. The problem is everybody wants to become a teacher. That's also there. Teach yoga for 1 year and then become the guru. Not you. So, I am looking for a replacement anyway. So, na bandhur na mitram, gurur naiva shishya, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. This I don't have to explain. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa. Now, this is in a way a grammatical word contradiction. It's like saying my form is formless, but there is no form. Aham nirvikalpo, that means, nirvikalpa means there are no kalpas in me, no vikalpas in me, which means my mind has reached a stage which is called nirvikalpa. Patanjali describes it as samadhi with no seeds. There are no more seeds that can sprout. All seeds have been exhausted. Such a mind is called nirvikalpa. Aham nirvikalpa, some people translated that I don't have duality. But the more proper translation would be nirvikalpo. That means there are no vikalpas in me. There are no differences in me. Therefore, you can say duality, but in the ultimate sense, it means there are no seeds there which can sprout. They have all been finished. And my form, do I have a form? If I have a form, that is formless. I know it's a contradiction in word, but there is no other way it can be described. That if I have a form, it is that which has no form. Vibhut Vacha Sarvatra Sarvendriyanam. I exist everywhere. There is no place that I do not exist in. Isha Vashyamidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat. Everything I exist. There is no thing in which some people say Aham Brahmasmi. Some people go a little further in and then they discover Sarvam Jitad Braham. That means all that is there is Brahman. There is no in or out, no going or coming. It's a contradiction in terms, but there is no way you can describe. Which is why the Upanishad Yadvacha na abhyutitam, that which words cannot describe. So, I exist everywhere. And also says Sarvatra and then Sarvendriyanam. See, our problem is that in our normal life, we give too much importance and attention to any one or two senses. If all the senses work together at one time, which is impossible to conceive, then free flying. So, you become like that bird which came here and sat, sitting on the bench, where, look at that bird, its eyes can see, its ears can hear, but is not particularly caught into something. That obsessiveness is not there. It's free. It can see, it can hear, it can feel, it can breathe, but it is not obsessed to any one thing. And in the state of understanding your true reality, you are free of all these attachments. That doesn't mean that your senses are not working. Your senses are actually much more fully awake than in a person who is obsessed with one. That you see the whole thing in a 4 or 5 dimensional way, rather than in that single dimension. And you enjoy because you don't want to possess. There is nothing wrong. Even the person who has reached Nirvana can actually enjoy, see, breathe. It's not as if they have shut off from everything. The problem is, the moment I feel I must pluck that flower and put it in my pocket, done, finished. That does not happen. Flowers are nice. You don't have to pluck it and put it in my pocket. Leave it. So, when I understand that concept of nirvana, of freedom, of ultimate essence, even the senses have to enjoy. When the senses enjoy, the enjoyer is the self, not the senses. That's another thing you have to look into carefully. In the words of the Yoga Sutras, the Purusha that ultimately enjoys. We think that the senses are enjoying it. And this is understood in a flash. Then the senses are free. Enjoy, not enjoy, it doesn't matter. They are not obsessed. Nacha sangatham naiva muktir nameya. I'm not attached. Now, if I am attached, then I have to be free. Since I am not attached, I am not free. And since I am free, I am not a captive. Nacha sangatham naiva muktir nameya. There is no need of mukti for me because I am already mukt. So what mukti can I do? Mukt hue badnaam. So, I am neither attached nor free nor captive. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. Can you imagine a state like that? At least in the mind as a concept, eternally free. You're not free because you're already free and you're not caught up in anything. But you're carrying on with life and you can see, you can hear, you can enjoy, but you're not obsessed with it. So, Vedanta does not advocate that you tie a blindfold in your eyes and walk around. We had a man from UP who came here, a young man. Sometime he was staying in that Vivek's house. I forgot his name. Something he said. So he said, I'll teach yoga. I'm from Shivananda. I said, okay. And one day he came to me and he said, Sir, वो क्या है कि sunshade की ज़रूरत है. I said, why? सर वो वहाँ औरत लोग हैं ना, उनसे आँख मिलाना पड़ता है डेली, इसलिए मुझे सनशेड चाहिए. So I got him a sunshade. But that also did not help, he went away. But what I'm trying to say is there is no need of a sunshade. When you see the beauty of the self everywhere, there is no need to free yourself from anything. You see everything as one, not as separate. The problem is the separation. If there is no separation, then there is nothing. It is total freedom. We had very nice people here working for some time. There was one bucket mahi, many kinds of people. So, Suryadev knows. So now we have done 3 days of Nirvana Shatakam. And so now we should be free of the words of Nirvana Shatakam. Because the words are also constricting. 3 sessions I have been talking. Now this talking has to go. What is the intermediate between that which is inexpressible and that which we use to express words? Music. Song, music. Is the link between that which cannot be put in words and words. So therefore, now I'm going to sing the Nirvana Shataka for you. Listen carefully. Don't even worry about the meaning. Now that you have listened for 3 days or you have read the Nirvana Shataka before, you know the meaning. So now forget about all that and just listen to the song and meditate on it. So the song is going to come next. Mano buddhi ahankara chitta ninaham. It's coming. Thank you very much. Om Shanti Shanti.